Hey everyone! Are you ready to take your English listening skills to the next level? In today's video, we've put together a fantastic listening practice session designed to help you understand native speakers more easily. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's improve your English together. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Let's get started.
Hey Chloe. Do you mind if I sit here? I saw you staring at your notebook for the last 10 minutes without moving an inch.
Oh, Alex. Please, sit down. I'm honestly on the verge of a mental breakdown right now. This calculus assignment is driving me completely insane.
Let me take a look. Is it the integration by parts problems from Mr. Harrison's class?
Exactly. Problem number 6 and number 8. I've tried solving them 3 times already, but my answers never match the solution key at the back of the textbook. I feel like my brain has completely stopped functioning.
Let me see. Oh, I remember this one. Look at your second step right here. You forgot to apply the chain rule when you differentiated the exponential function. That's why your final constant is completely off.
Wait, really? Oh my goodness, how did I miss that? I spent almost 40 minutes on this single line. Thank you so much, Alex. You're an absolute lifesaver.
Don't worry about it. Calculus can be really tricky, especially when you're tired. How long have you been sitting here in the library today?
Since 7 in the morning. I had an early basketball practice with the school team, and then I came straight here to study before our afternoon physics lab.
Speaking of basketball, how are your varsity team preparations going? Aren't the regional finals coming up next week?
Yeah, they are. In fact, we have our last major practice match this Thursday afternoon. It's been pretty intense lately, balancing 2 hours of daily practice with late-night study sessions. But what about you? How is the soccer club handling the tournament schedule alongside the upcoming mock exams?
It's definitely a tightrope to walk. As the soccer team captain, I have to run tactical drills 3 times a week, organize squad rotations, and make sure everyone stays injury-free. At the same time, I'm trying to solve at least 2 advanced physics practice papers every single night.
I honestly don't know how you manage to do both without collapsing. You're leading the soccer team, playing competitive sports, and you still somehow manage to maintain a top GPA in advanced mathematics and computer science prerequisites. What's your secret?
To be completely honest with you, sports are actually my primary stress reliever. When I'm on the soccer field or running drills, I simply can't think about derivative equations, chemical reactions, or historical dates. I just focus on the ball, the tactical movement, and the game. It forces my brain to take a complete break from academic anxiety.
That makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. I wish I had an outlet like that. For me, every single minute I'm not studying feels like a wasted minute, and that thought alone gives me so much guilt and internal pressure. Even when I'm on the basketball court, I catch myself feeling guilty for not reading my history notes.
You really shouldn't feel guilty for giving your mind a rest, Chloe. Burning yourself out right before the university entrance exams is the worst thing that could possibly happen to your prep strategy. We still have roughly 2 months left, which means this whole process is a marathon, not a quick sprint.
I know you're logically right, but the psychological pressure is just getting heavier every single day. My parents keep asking me about my target entrance scores at dinner every night, and our homeroom teacher reminds us about the exam countdown on the whiteboard every single morning. I feel like I'm suffocating under all these expectations.
I completely understand where you're coming from. My family also has very high expectations because my older brother graduated with top honors from a prestigious university abroad. The fear of disappointing the people you love is often much heavier than the difficulty of the exam questions themselves.
Exactly. That's precisely how I feel every single day. How are you coping with that specific family pressure and exam stress yourself? You always seem so calm, structured, and collected whenever I see you in class or at the library.
Trust me, I look calm on the outside, but my mind races just as much as anyone else's. However, I realized a few weeks ago that panicking or overthinking won't add a single point to my final test score. So, I decided to completely overhaul my revision strategy and daily schedule.
Really? What kind of revision strategy are you using now? Please share all the details, because whatever study routine I'm currently following is clearly draining my energy without giving me maximum efficiency.
Well, first of all, I made a strict rule to stop studying past midnight. Late night cramming completely ruined my memory retention and left me feeling sluggish during school lectures the next day. Now, I strictly use a modified Pomodoro technique during the daytime, 50 minutes of deep, uninterrupted focus followed by a 10-minute deliberate break.
I've heard about that technique so many times, but whenever I try it, I always get distracted during the 10-minute break and end up scrolling on social media or watching videos for an hour instead of getting back to my desk.
That used to happen to me all the time too. The key is to eliminate screens completely during your breaks. During my 10-minute breaks, I step away from my study desk, walk outside to get some fresh air, stretch my legs, drink a full glass of water, or do 20 quick jumping jacks. No phone, no computer, no social media. That way, my brain actually rests, and my physical energy levels remain high.
That sounds like incredible self-discipline. What about your actual study methods for retaining complex concepts? Are you using active recall or spaced repetition? Everyone on academic study forums seems to praise those methodologies.
They actually work absolute wonders if you apply them correctly. Instead of just rereading my highlighted notes over and over, which creates a false illusion of competence, I rely heavily on active recall. I write down key formulas, definitions, and core historical concepts on physical flashcards. I test myself constantly without looking at the answers on the back.
And how do you handle the topics that you keep forgetting or getting wrong?
That's where spaced repetition comes into play. If I get a flashcard wrong, I put it into a pile that I must review again the very next day. If I get it right, I put it into a pile that I only review 3 or 4 days later. Over time, the information moves from my short-term memory into my permanent long-term memory.
That makes total, logical sense. Active retrieval forces your brain to work hard to fetch information, which builds stronger neural connections than passive reading ever could. I definitely need to stop just highlighting textbooks and start creating active flashcards for my chemistry and biology units.
Absolutely. Highlighting feels productive, but it's actually one of the least effective study habits according to cognitive research. Another crucial strategy I've implemented is taking full-length practice exams under strict, timed examination conditions every weekend.
Full-length practice exams? Do you sit down for 3 full hours at home without stopping?
Yes, exactly. Every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, I turn off my phone, sit at my desk with a timer, and complete a full practice paper for either math, physics, or English. Doing this consistently has completely eliminated my exam anxiety because the actual test environment won't feel like a surprise anymore. It builds mental endurance and teaches you exactly how to manage your time under pressure.
Time management is undeniably my biggest weakness, especially when it comes to the English literature section and the advanced chemistry problem sets. I always find myself getting stuck on difficult essay prompts or multi-step calculations, and then I run out of time before I can even attempt the last section.
If time management is your main bottleneck, you should start practicing with a strict countdown timer right beside your paper. For example, give yourself strictly 45 minutes per essay, and force yourself to wrap up your conclusion the moment the timer hits 0, regardless of whether you think it's perfect or not. You will train your brain to write concisely and maintain a proper steady pace.
That's a fantastic piece of advice. I will start implementing that exact timed method tonight when I practice my literature essays. By the way, Alex, have you finalized your university application list yet? The submission deadline for our official choice forms is approaching much faster than I anticipated.
Yes, I finally finalized my university choices last weekend after discussing everything with my parents and academic counselor. My absolute top target is the National University of Technology, specifically their honors program in computer science and data analytics.
Wow, that's an exceptionally ambitious choice. The admission requirement for their computer science honors program is insanely competitive this year. The cutoff scores have been rising every single academic cycle. What made you choose that specific field of study?
I've been passionate about programming, software architecture, and artificial intelligence ever since I built my first basic website in ninth grade. Combining my love for mathematical logic and complex problem solving with cutting-edge software development feels like the most natural career path for me. Plus, the field of data analytics is expanding rapidly across every major industry globally.
That sounds like a perfect alignment with your personal strengths and long-term career goals. What about your backup options if the cutoff score turns out to be higher than expected?
If my final entrance exam scores aren't quite high enough for my top choice, my secondary option is the State Institute of Engineering for Software Engineering, and my third option is the Information Technology program at the Metropolitan Polytechnic University. Both are reputable programs with great industry connections and internship placement rates.
That is a remarkably well-thought-out application strategy. You've always been top of the class in logical thinking and coding competitions, so I have no doubt that you will easily get accepted into your dream university.
Thank you, Chloe. That really means a lot coming from you. What about your own plans? Are you still torn between applying for international business administration or communications and media studies?
After a lot of soul-searching and conversations with my family, I'm officially leaning heavily toward international business administration at the University of Economics and Finance. It has been my ultimate dream school since the day I entered high school.
That is an amazing choice. The Faculty of International Business at that university is renowned nationwide, and their exchange programs with European universities are incredible. What ultimately made you pick business over communications?
I realized that I want a dynamic career that allows me to operate in global corporate environments, manage cross-border commercial projects, and handle strategic trade negotiations. I love interacting with people from diverse backgrounds, mastering foreign languages, analyzing market trends, and developing business growth strategies.
That fits your personality completely. You are naturally articulate, highly organized, and fantastic at interpersonal communication. A career in international business will play directly to your greatest natural talents.
Thank you for saying that, Alex. But to be completely honest, their minimum cutoff score last year was exceptionally high, practically near perfect. That's the core reason why I've been experiencing so much severe anxiety lately. If I make just 2 or 3 small careless mistakes on the mathematics or economics papers, my entire dream of getting into that campus could be completely shattered.
Hey, please don't let negative self-talk take over your mindset like that. You are without a doubt one of the most diligent, resilient, and dedicated students in our entire graduating class. Do you remember last month when we took the comprehensive mock economics exam, and you scored the highest mark in the entire grade level?
I remember, but a mock exam is still just a mock exam. The actual university entrance exam will have a completely different level of pressure, unpredictable questions, and thousands of candidates competing for the same limited spots.
That's true, but your preparation level remains the exact same regardless of the test environment. You have the talent, the intellectual capability, and the work ethic required to excel. Sometimes when you're overwhelmed by self-doubt and constant studying, it becomes impossible to see your own steady progress. But as your classmate, I can clearly see how much you've grown academically over the past year.
Thank you, Alex. I really, truly needed to hear that today. Hearing it from someone who understands the exact same academic struggle helps ground me and put things back into perspective.
We're all in the exact same boat, Chloe. Every single senior in this school is feeling some degree of fear and uncertainty right now. The key is not to let that fear paralyze you. We still have 2 full months ahead of us, which is plenty of time to identify our remaining weak points and systematically fix them.
You're completely right. Instead of worrying about worst-case scenarios that haven't happened, I need to focus my energy on taking concrete action every single day. Hey, since we both need to boost our performance in different subject areas, why don't we establish a structured study partnership until the official exams begin?
I think that is an absolutely brilliant idea. How do you envision structuring our collaborative study sessions?
Well, you are an absolute genius when it comes to calculus, physics, analytical logic, and quantitative problem solving. On the flip side, I consistently score top marks in advanced English literature, essay structuring, grammar rules, and social science analysis. We could set up a dedicated study table at the Central Library 3 times a week right after our last period. You can tutor me through difficult math and physics problem sets, and I can review, edit, and help you structure your English literature essays.
That sounds like a complete win-win agreement. To be totally honest with you, structuring cohesive, high-scoring argumentative essays for the English exam has been one of my biggest personal hurdles. Having your direct feedback and editing guidance would be immensely valuable for my score.
Fantastic. We can also test each other using flashcards, run timed practice modules, and share our best summary notes. We can officially launch our study session starting this Friday afternoon right after your soccer practice concludes. We can reserve a quiet study room at the library and spend 2 uninterrupted hours working through practice papers and analyzing every single mistake we make.
Deal. I'll bring my comprehensive formula sheets and physics drill sets, and you can bring your essay blueprints and English grammar guides. But to ensure our study group stays productive and stress-free, let's establish one mandatory ground rule right now.
What's the rule? I'm listening.
The rule is 0 complaining, 0 doom scrolling, and 0 conversations about exam anxiety or worst-case scenarios during our official study hours. When we sit down at that library table, we focus purely on pragmatic solutions, actionable learning, and steady, measurable progress. We leave all the panic outside the door.
I absolutely love that rule. Positive, constructive, and action-oriented mindset only. No room for unnecessary panic.
Exactly. That's how we build genuine confidence, by replacing fear with daily preparation. Now, let's get right back to your calculus assignment. Open your notebook to problem number 8, and let's break down the integration steps together line by line.
Alright, let's do this. Let me grab my pencil and fresh paper. Thank you so much again, Alex. I feel immensely more focused, clear-headed, and motivated now than I did an hour ago.
That's what friends are for. We're going to conquer these entrance exams and get into our dream universities together.